Icelocked here with Nocturne Gaming, back with more Legends of Idleon, and today we're taking a look at a trapping efficiency guide. For trapping, there are three major stats that we're going to be looking at to get the most out of our trapping. These stats are going to be your trapping efficiency, which gives you a multiplier to the number of critters that you catch with each trap. The second thing is going to be your shiny critter chance. These shiny critters are needed to upgrade several things throughout the game and in several crafting items. So it's not listed on this menu as a stat, but we'll go through the different sources that you can get shiny critter chance as we go through the worlds. The last section is going to be your EXP multiplier, and we're going to be using a different character than the Hunter or the Beastmaster to get the most EXP. So I'm going to show you the Hunter's main setup first, then we'll move on to the Voidwalker, which is our second character, and then we'll move into going through the worlds where you get all of the different bonuses for your traps. And at the end of the guide, I'll actually show you the setup and getting the most out of these traps. So first thing first is going to be our equipment, and there's only a few pieces of equipment that we need. The first is going to be the funny hat. If you've accessed this or you've already had this from Idle Skilling, it is the only thing that gives us skill efficiency, so it's 6% free skill efficiency for our trapping. After that, you want the serrated Rex rings, as these give you 8% skill efficiency each, as well as a little bonus to your agility. The rest of your pieces of gear, you just want to get as much agility as you can, as agility does convert into trapping efficiency. On your specials tab, there's a few more items here. The main one is the Idle Skiller Trophy, as this does give you 15% skill efficiency at base. The next thing is the Gilded Affont wings, and this gives you 10% skill efficiency. It is the only pair of wings that will actually affect your skilling efficiency for trapping. If you don't have these, I do recommend trying to farm them, but it is a low drop chance. For all of your other pieces here, again, you just want to get as much agility as you can, and then on your keychains, the same thing, as much agility as you possibly can. If you can't get agility, you can get percent to all stats, but having AFK gains does not help your trapping efficiency or the number of critters that you get. Moving on to our tools tab, this is the standard setup that we just want the best tools that we can with as much agility as we possibly can on each of these tools. Make sure you're using your upgrade stones in all your gear and tools, as that will really make a big difference for you. For your trap, the better trap that you can get gives you more trapping power, more agility, and it also increases the number of traps placed. You don't need the final tier of the traps, the egalitarian traps. Does not give you an additional trap, but it does give you more trapping power, so it can help your efficiency. If you can simply make the royal traps for each of your characters, that will allow you to have the maximum amount of traps placed on every character. It is important to mention that if you can, make the worship skull that you can, because this does give you 3% to all stats as well. For your food, the only thing that we're really going to benefit from is increasing our stats with the golden grilled cheese nomwiches here. And then when you're collecting traps, if you're manually collecting traps, you want to have the critter num nums equipped, as this does increase your shiny odds chance. Next up is going to be the talents for the Beastmaster, and there's a few talents on each page, so I'm just going to talk about those. So starting with elusive efficiency, this gives you more total efficiency for your trapping skill. The only other one on this page is going to be your quickness boots, as more agility gives you more trapping efficiency. So dump as many points as you can into here, and let's move on to tab 2. On tab 2, we just want more agility. Once again, this is Sanic Speed to give you more base agility, as well as Garb of Unaging Quality, which gives you more agility from your equipment, which really makes the benefit from the Magma or the Dreadlow pieces give you a lot more. After that, the only thing else that's worth mentioning on this tab is going to be the Yeah, I Already Know, to give you a little bit more experience and help you level up a little easier. And then same thing for Focus Soul, to give you a little bit more experience in trapping. That's not going to affect your efficiency, so it's not a huge priority, as most of our experience is going to come from a different character. Moving on to tab 3, we have a few more talents here, and we're going to go in order here, starting with Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye is a way that you can remotely collect all of your traps. This does give you a higher percentage of critters if you haven't leveled up far enough, but before you have it leveled up to above 200 or so, it's going to be a reduction in the number of critters that you get and a reduction in the EXP that you get. So it's really recommended to book this as quick as you can, as that's going to give you a lot more critters. After that's going to be invasive species, and this gives you more trapping efficiency based on the number of frogs you have in your storage. So I really recommend you put some serious time into collecting frogs, as if you can get above 1 billion, this is a significant gain to your overall trapping efficiency. 350% more efficiency is a significant boost for you. After that is Shroom Bait. This is another trapping EXP gain. I still recommend that we're going to use the Voidwalker for our experience, so this talent is not necessary if you're using the 2 different characters. After that, you do have Reflective Insight for more shiny critter chance based on your trapping level, so this is one of the reasons we really want to level up, as that's going to help you collect those shiny critters a little easier. Moving on to Agility again, which gives you more talent points into Quickness Boots. That's more base agility for you. And then after that, you have the Shoe Full of Obols to give you more agility from your Obols. This isn't a big gain, so it is my last priority on this tab. Moving on to tab 4, we have a couple more skills here that can be useful. The first thing is Symbols of Beyond. This gives you plus 11 or plus 9, wherever you're at, to all of your talents that you have at least 1 point in, so it's free talent levels for everything we have points in. From there, you have Adaptation Revelation, which gives you % to all of your agility, as well as 300 more points into Quickness Boots, or depending on what your total level is here. So it's quite a bit more agility that you gain. And then Skill Ambidextry, which gives you more agility, or more skill efficiency based on your agility, and another small boost to your agility. The only thing that I would recommend also putting points into on this tab is going to be the Family Guy, as this does give you a % bonus to your family bonuses, and we do have one on the Hunter tab which gives you more efficiency to all of your skills, so you do get a small gain on that, but it is not going to be a big thing, so it's again my last priority on this on your talents. For your Star Talent tab, you have a few that can be very useful, starting with the Toilet Paper Postage Stamp, which gives you more efficiency from your postage stamps. There's only a couple that really help us out here, but it is worth grabbing if you have the spare talent points. Will of the Eldest does give you a small bonus to your base stats. It's another 47 stats for me. It's very tiny, but if you can afford it, it is worth it. And then Studious Quester gives you more skill efficiency based on the number of quests you've completed. I've completed 91 on this character, so it's another 9% skill efficiency for me. On to tab 2, you have a few that can be helpful here. Frothy Malk gives you more bonuses from your boost foods, so I do recommend putting points into that. And then I also recommend dumping points into Cardiovascular, as getting your cards leveled up for your trapping your critters can be quite the challenge, so any little bonus from there does help out. On the third tab, you only have the Stat Overload to give you more base agility, and this is a flat 300 agility that you can gain from this. Next up is going to be your cards, and there are a few different card sets that I'm going to have to go over here. The first is if you're at the end game and you've already unlocked some of the Rift Mastery bonuses, which we'll go over later in the guide, but this is the basic setup that you want to use. This is getting the most skill efficiency from your Chaotic Troll, and then buffing up our % to stats from the Blighted Cheeseor, Tremor Worm, and Stilted Seeker, and then a little bit more agility. The rest of my cards here are optional, and this is buffing up my card drop chance. If you don't want to use these, you can use other cards to give you a smaller amount of base agility for a little bit more efficiency. If you haven't unlocked the passive cards yet from Rift Mastery, you can use a setup that's more like this. And this is using the Chaotic Troll for your skill efficiency, buffing up your percent to all stats, but then also buffing up your trapping efficiency from using this specific set of cards. Remember that you want to use your highest skill efficiency cards in your top left and bottom right, depending if you have the card doublers in the lab, but more on that later. The last setup that you're going to need if you don't have the passive cards is going to be the collecting card setup. So to explain this a little bit deeper, you want to use this setup when you're placing your traps, as this will give you the most efficiency. And then when you're collecting your traps, you want to use this card setup, as this gives you the highest card drop chance as well as the highest shiny critter chance. So once you have the Rift Mastery done, you can completely ignore this third card setup. But I did want to at least mention that for the people that have not gotten the Rift Mastery done yet. For your card set, the only choice is using easy resources for more base skill efficiency. After that is mentioning your star signs, and there are 3 star signs here that I'm using. The only one that's majorly needed is going to be the Trapezoidberg here, that gives you more critters from your traps as well as more trapping efficiency. For your other star signs, you should use things that give you more agility. So I choose these 2, as this gives me another 4% to my overall agility. Next up is going to be our Obols for this character, and this is where you want to use your trapping Obols. This does give you more trapping power and more agility from each of these Obols. There is one special exception, and that is if you have the dilapidated slush Obols, you do get more skill efficiency from these. However, using the base trapping Obols does not give you that percentage to skill efficiency, so they're not needed. If you happen to have them, they are quite a bit more trapping power, but it is not going to make or break your build to have these high-end Obols. And the last thing to mention that is character specific is going to be your prayers. There are 2 prayers that are worth mentioning. First up is Skilled Dimwit, as this does give you a ton of extra skill efficiency, and this is going to give you a lot more to your trapping and how many critters you collect. And we're going to be using another character for our skill EXP, so we really don't care about the penalty here. The other one that's worth mentioning is going to be the Shiny Snitch, and this gives you a higher amount of shiny critters when the critters do drop. It does lower your shiny critter chance, so this isn't something I would use too early in the game. However, if you can bump this up to get more shinies, it is going to be a big boost on the number of shiny critters that you get overall. So the next stage of our setup is going to be setting up our Voidwalker to get the most EXP that we can. And you can see in our skills menu that my EXP multiplier on the Voidwalker is significantly higher than what we can get on the Beastmaster, and we can give this bonus to all of our other characters, and this is why we're going to be using 2 different characters. As you can see, my trapping efficiency is significantly lower than the Beastmaster, so we don't care about efficiency at all. All we need is all of the benefits to get as much EXP multiplier as we can. So starting with our equipment, a few pieces that we can equip to help us out is starting with the Acorn Topper to give us a bonus of 15% skill EXP. Everything else on the tab doesn't really matter here, as we don't care about skill efficiency, so you just need to make sure you have that equipped. In your specials tab, you have 3 items that can help out. First is the Club Maestro Trophy to give you 35% skill EXP at base. The Blooming Vine is the best in slot that gives you 50% skill EXP at base. However, if you don't have those, you can use the Eternal Flames of the Divine to give you 40% skill EXP instead. For your nameplate, it's going to be using the Spring Flowers name tag for 15% skill EXP. For your tools, you do want to make sure you have at least the Royal Traps on each of your characters, and this is going to give you the ability to place up to 8 traps. It's not directly related to EXP, but if you're looking for the most EXP that you can get, you can potentially place 8 traps from the Maestro and level up very quickly on all of your characters. So I do recommend having the best traps that you can use on each of your characters. In the food tab, the only thing that we're really paying attention to is the golden ham, as this is a bonus, a significant bonus for us of 40% more skill EXP with 17,000 that I have. Next up is going to be the talents for the Voidwalker, and there's only a couple on each tab that help us out. Starting on tab 1, you have Happy Dude to give you more EXP gain to all of your skills. On tab 2, we have nothing that directly affects us, so we can move straight into tab 3. And tab 3 is where we get the meat of our benefits, starting with the left hand of learning. This gives us a massive bonus to our skill EXP gain. It's 149% at base. However, if we have the enhancement from tab 4, which we'll talk about in just a minute, this applies to the Voidwalker and it doubles the bonus. So we're getting 300% more skill EXP gain from left hand of learning. After that, you have the Maestro's Transfusion, which gives you more skill EXP gain at the cost of skill efficiency, but we don't care about skill efficiency, so it's just a straight bonus for us. From here, we have the Skilliest statue. This gives us two effects. First is the EXP statue that gives us more skilling EXP, and the next is the Feasty statue, which gives us a larger bonus to our statues, which gives us more benefit from our golden hams, so that does help us out. The other thing that's worth mentioning on this tab is going to be right hand of action. This gives you more skilling efficiency on all of your other characters. So if you keep your Voidwalker's trapping level at the highest, that means your Beastmaster's trapping efficiency is going to be significantly higher as well. Moving on to tab 4, the main thing here is going to be the enhancement Eclipse. The main thing that you need is 25 points into enhancement Eclipse to get the left hand of learning benefit. However, if you can get it down to right hand of action, it can be of help, and there's other things to help out there too. The other big part for the Voidwalker is going to be the Species Epoch, which gives you more critters and souls that is based on your trapping and worship levels. So as you level up trapping and worship, your Beastmaster is going to get quite a bit more souls and critters. So right now, my total combined level is 197, and I'm getting a little over 500% more critters and souls based on this singular talent. That's a huge benefit for us. And the last thing to mention is going to be Void Statuification, which gives us another 110% bonus to our statues. Same thing there, the skill EXP statue as well as the Feasty statue both give benefits. So we see huge numbers from those statues using the Voidwalker. For our cards, we make it real simple here. The only thing that we need is a font card that gives you more skill EXP. At the Ruby level gives you 22% more skill EXP from Chaotic Font. And then for your card set, you want to use the medium resources for another small bonus to your skill EXP gain. Moving on to our star signs, there's only 2 star signs that we need for the Voidwalker, and that is going to be the 6% skill EXP gain on the Hydron tab, and then the 3% skill EXP gain on the Chronos tab. The other point that you have for your star signs, you can put anywhere you want, as it's not going to affect our goals here on the Voidwalker. And the last thing specifically for the Voidwalker is going to be setting up your prayers properly. There's 2 that we need. First is Balance of Proficiency. This gives us a large bonus to our skill EXP gain. It does penalize our skill efficiency. So if you can level this up and get more skill EXP gain, it's going to help you out, as we do not care at all about our skill efficiency. So a couple more points into here helps boost it up. We're at 102% skill EXP gain now. And the last thing is going to be your Unending Energy, as this gives you a significant boost to your class and skill EXP gain. Make sure that when you're done setting your traps to take this off, as it does limit your maximum AFK time to 10 hours. I make this mistake every time I do this, and I always forget to remove my Unending Energy. So that's it for the character specific things we need set up on the 2 different characters. So let's move through the worlds now. In World 1, starting with stamps, we have 3 stamps. The Heidi Box stamp gives us more base trapping efficiency. Keep in mind that this does continue scaling, even though it says under leveled. As you level this up, you'll still notice this number going up. After that, you have the Perp Frog stamp, which gives you more shiny catch rate. This is a multiplier. It is very worth it to put points into this. Lastly, you have the Spike Mouth Trap that gives you more Trapping EXP gain. This is really helpful for the Voidwalker. Next up is our statues, and there's only 3 statues that we're really looking at. First is the box statue for more trapping power. Next is the EXP statue for more skill EXP. And the last one to mention is all the way up top is the Feasty statue. This gives us the Critter Num Num bonus, which for more shiny critter chance, as well as the Golden Ham for the Voidwalker. So it's really worth it to have these bonuses unlocked. Make sure that you're unlocking the Golden and Onyx statues as you can, as both of these are huge multipliers for us and makes it a little easier to level these statues up. For our critters, we have a couple that help us out. The first is Multi, which gives us more skilling efficiency, and then Rift Slug that gives you plus 25 levels to all talents. Both of these can give you a significant gain to your trapping efficiency, so it's worth getting those if you can. Moving on to World 2 and starting in Alchemy, we have the Swift Steppin' Alchemy Bubble that gives us more base agility, and farther on up we have Sanic Tools, which gives us more skilling power from our traps. And then a little farther up again, we have Call Me Ash. This is the main bubble we need, and you need to have this equipped to your character, as this gives you a ton of trapping efficiency. And then as long as you have this bubble unlocked, it will give you 1 additional trap to place, and that gives you the ability to unlock all 8 traps eventually. From there you have Cause I Catch 'Em All, and this gives you more likelihood to catch shiny critters. It's a significant bonus for you, so you do want to level that up. From there, the only other ones that you have are the ones farther up, like the Slabo Critter Bug, which gives you more trapping power based on how many items you have in the slab. It's a small bonus, but it still adds up, as there's about 1,400 items available in the slab. So that's about another 28 trapping power for you. And then lastly, you have the Slabo Agility to give you more agility based on your slab. Again, it looks like a small bonus, but it really does add up. For your vials, you have 2 that affect your shiny critters and 2 that affect your actual critters. First up is Fur Refresher that gives you the bonus to your shiny critter chance. After that, you have Poison Tincture that gives you more critters from your Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye does affect the Trapper Drone, so getting points into Poison Tincture will actually give you more critters overall, no matter how you're collecting your traps. And then from there you have Orange Malt to give you another bonus to your shiny critter chance. And lastly, the Goosey Glug to give you more base critters per trap, which means all of your efficiency multipliers will have more numbers to multiply on, which gives you a significant increase. Moving on to the post office, you only have 2 boxes that are really going to help you out here. First is going to be the Trapping Lockbox that gives you more trapping efficiency, more trapping EXP, and more critters from your traps. So all in all, it's about a 30% increase across everything. It's a significant amount of critters for you. And then you also have the Myriad Crate. If you have enough boxes to throw into it, this does give you up to about 800% more, or 800 more base efficiency and about 50% more all skill EXP. However, it is 100,000 boxes to spend them on. Other than that, the only thing you can do is put more points into the Sailing Crate for more base agility. Moving on to World 3, we're starting with one of the major bonuses, which is the Trapper Drone. This allows you to deploy and collect your traps remotely. These stats are based off your Hunter's Eagle Eye, with one exception, and that's for every level that you have in the Trapper Drone. It gives you 10% extra critters from all traps. So this is a significant upgrade. You can potentially upgrade this to level 50, which will give you 490% more extra critters from all your traps. It's also worth mentioning the helium bonus from the Atom Collider, as this does give you more power of 10 from any of your talents that give you bonuses. So looking at the Beastmaster specifically, we have the invasive species, so the helium bonus will give you several more multipliers on top of the bonus that's shown here. Moving on to World 4 and starting with the dinner menu, we have 3 bonuses that can help us out. Starting with the corn, that gives us more skill efficiency based on the level of your dinner plate. It's 2% per plate level. And then after that, you have the rice ball, which is a little bit farther down, which gives you 3% skill efficiency per plate level. And lastly, much farther down, you have the whipped cocoa, which gives you 4% skill efficiency per level. As you can see, these bonuses add up to quite a bit, so it is worth leveling these up as you can. In the lab, you have a few mainframe bonuses that can help you out. First is the certified stamp book. This doubles all of the bonuses from your stamps, which can give you a little bit more efficiency and EXP and shiny critter chance. So it is worth having your lab bonuses active. Also for the My First Chemistry stat, which gives you doubling all of the bonuses in the alchemy vials, which can be significant gains to your critters and shiny critter chance. The last one that I think is worth mentioning here is going to be the Black Diamond Rhinestone. This gives you a 24% gain to all of your dinner menu meals, which gives you quite a bit more skill efficiency if you can unlock this one. In the console, we have 2 different characters that we need to set up. The main things that we're looking for, though, are going to be the card doubler chips, which doubles the bonus of the cards in the top left and bottom right slots. And then the 2 orange ones that we need are going to be the star sign doubler, which gives us the more critters and more efficiency, and then the trophy doubler, which doubles our idle skilling trophy for another 15% skill efficiency. Then any other slot that you have open, I recommend filling up with the total skilling efficiency. I find this gives me a lot more overall efficiency compared to using the 250 base efficiency. So using this setup, I've got 60% more skill efficiency on this character. For the Voidwalker, you're going to use the same 2 card doubler chips, and then the only things you really need here are the star sign doubler for a little bit more skill efficiency, and the trophy doubler, which gives you the bonus to the Maestro's EXP, 35% EXP trophy. The other 2 aren't really needed, but I don't really have any other chips that I really need for this setup, so I just use it for my basic overall skilling on my Voidwalker. So the last bonuses in World 4 are going to be from the Rift. The Rift is an in-game content that gives you several large bonuses. There's a few that help us out with trapping. The first is going to be the Trap Box Vacuum. This was a game changer for me. This makes it where your trapper drone automatically collects all of your traps every 24 hours. So if you're setting your traps to be done about every 20 hours or so, then you're just automatically collecting the critters, the EXP, the shiny critters, all of it's done for you. However, one negative to this is your shiny critter catch chance. You need to make sure you have the shiny snitch prayer on every character, otherwise they won't get the benefit from it. All of your EXP and skill efficiency is set when you place the traps, but your shiny critters is not. So it is important to make sure you have those that critter chance actually active on every character. After that, you have Vial Mastery. This gives you more benefits from the vials, which gives you more shiny critter chance and more critters. Currently with 41 vials, I have 82%, 41 vials that are maxed. I have 82% more bonus from all of my vials, which is a significant increase for my trapping. The other one worth mentioning is going to be your Ruby cards. This is the same as all of your other cards, just gives you one more tier up, which gives you more trapping efficiency, more shiny critter chance, and so on and so forth. But the real benefit from the Rift is going to be your Skill Mastery. Skill Mastery is a way to get bonuses on all of your characters based on your total level of all of your skills. So every skill that you level up gives you different bonuses, and we're taking a look at trapping specifically. This gives you more trapping EXP, more efficiency, and the big one, all of your trapping cards are now passive, which means you don't need to have 2 different card sets. You can just use the basic set that gives you more all skill experience and the card drop chance and things like that. And then as you level up, you'll unlock more bonuses for more skill EXP, more skill efficiency. And then the big one is Every skill that gets to total level 1000 gives you 25% more all skill EXP. So with the 15 skills that you have, it's a total of 375% more skill EXP, which can really make leveling up the harder skills a little easier. So as you can level these up, and then all of these bonuses will start giving you a lot more progress to all of your other skills. For your sailing relics, there's only one that we really need, but there are a few others that can be useful. The first is the Frost Relic. This gives you more skilling efficiency for all skills in Worlds 1, 2, and 3, which does affect your trapping. This bonus can be up to tripled, so a total of 90% efficiency for your trapping skill from this. The others that can be useful would be your Socrates, that gives you more base stats, so this gives you up to 30% more agility, which can help you out quite a bit. And then everything else is very optional, and it's going to be very minor bonuses. For the divinity gods, there's only a couple things we can do to help out. For your Beastmaster, I recommend linking with the Arctis. This gives you the plus to talent levels, which can give you a little bit more efficiency from your invasive species talent and the other talents that you're using. So it can give you a little bit of a bonus. For the Voidwalker, I recommend equipping Flutterbus, as this does give you the minor link bonus of another 124% skill EXP, and that can be a pretty significant bonus overall for your trapping. The only other thing that's worth mentioning here is going to be the Nubisect Blessing, and this gives you 500 scaled efficiency. It's a small bonus, but everything adds up. So the last piece of the puzzle is going to be actually placing our traps down using the two characters we've set up. And the first thing is going to be placing the traps for every character using your Beastmaster. The Trapper Drone was updated, so every character will benefit from your Beastmaster or the character that is placing the traps. So using this box at the top, you can select which character you want to place traps on. So I recommend just going in order. Select the critter that you want to place and then click Place Trap. From here, you'll be able to decide which trap you want to use. Now, there are three different ways that you can, or three traps that you can use, in my opinion, that are the most efficient setups. Now, if you're wanting to collect every 60 minutes or every 10 hours or however you're wanting to do it, you can use any combination of these different traps and whatever works the best for you. However, I always forget to collect traps when I'm logging in, so I prefer traps that are going to be running out on a regular basis and letting the trap vacuum from the rift really give us the full benefits. Now, the priority here is going to be using 20-minute traps, as this allows you to get the most critters, as it's just a 2x multiplier for every 20 minutes, which is 6 times quantity every hour. And you can see at 40 hours, it's a significant amount of more critters overall, but that means manually collecting your traps every 20 minutes. So it gets less efficient as you go down the number of hours. My preference is using the 40-hour traps. This wastes about 8 hours every 2 days, but I'm still getting a significant amount of critters. This gives me 1.4 million critters for every trap, so I'm using 7 traps times 1.4 million times the 9 characters that it's going to be on. It's almost 100 million critters every 2 days that I can collect, which is plenty for me. The most efficient for long term without any waste is getting the wooden traps every 5 days. This gives you slightly more critters than you would get from the royal traps. However, you get 0 XP and you get no shiny critter chance. So my preference and my recommendation is to use the 40 hours, 70 quantity and 125 shiny chance. This gives me a significant amount of shiny critters and plenty of critters. So to do this, I want to set it up on 7 for each character, so you can just back out, select the next character, place your traps. So we'll go down the list here and then we'll move on to the next step. If you happen to place an extra one here, it's not a big deal. You simply can go to delete traps and then remove it from that last slot, and that's all good. So moving on to third character, and we'll speed it up here. All right, so we've got all of our critters selected for every trap now. So the setup that I'm using is going to be maximizing my experience on my Voidwalker, so I didn't place any critters here. So we'll move on to the Voidwalker and show you the last piece of this setup. So we're on the Voidwalker now, and we're going to place our EXP traps, so we can check our stats here. We're currently at 24 times, but if we throw on our transfusion here, we can check it again, and we're at 32 times more EXP. And what we're going to do is go into our trapper drone now. We're going to select the highest critter that you can possibly trap. It doesn't matter what your skill efficiency is, you'll still collect the EXP. And select one of your characters. I have one slot available on every character. And to get the most EXP, we want to use natural crates, and you want to use the 20-hour crates. You can use the 44-hour, but it's slightly more efficient for the 20-hour crates, and this means every day that you log in, you'll be collecting a significant amount of EXP for every character. So you can take a look here. For this character, I'm gaining 63 million trapping EXP every day for logging in. I have to do nothing because the trap vacuum will be pulling in all of my critters for me. And I'm not collecting any critters, but I'm getting the most EXP on every character. So every character is going to get one of these blobfish. And that means we're getting the most EXP until we get down to our Voidwalker. And we're going to place all 8 traps on this character to make sure he's leveling up as fast as possible, which means the next time we place traps, we'll get a higher bonus from the species Epoch talent. So here we are at this character, and we can just place all 8 traps for 63 million apiece, which means our trapping will level up pretty fast at this stage. So we have all of our critters trapped, and this is the setup that I kind of recommend. Your Voidwalker with all of them placed, and then every character gets one. And if you're wanting to level up a little bit faster, 2 or 3 traps could even be used for more EXP versus more critters. So that's the choices that you'll have to make for what works best for you, but this is the setup that I use. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and drop a comment if you're enjoying our content. And a huge shout out to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. If you would like to become a patron, check out the link in the description for more details. And be sure to visit our merch store so you can get some pretty cool stuff. If you have any thoughts or questions, let us know in the comments below,